Another massive AFL show, and we are dirty with Paul Curtis getting 3 weeks. We break the whole thing down, and we also have a new co-host. Daisy, what else do we talk about?
Train, it's always a pleasure. I'm interested, though. You have views on taking the game international. We're going to Delhi, we're going to Mumbai, we're going to bloody India. Get it, India.
Calcutta, here we come, the Aces. We're looking forward to it, guys. It was a good show, and we talked about Morgs' Tinder history.
Morgsy, what else?
Yeah, we'll leave that alone. It's an erratic show, boys. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Aces AFL show. We have Daisy Thomas, and we have someone just to light the setup. It is the Knobster joining us for his first game, it feels like. First podcast. Get around here,
Hello,
Knobster.
boys. Nice to be here and nice to be dragged in, not having to do the race call today. And it feels like my old playing days. Half the squad's out and I get the call up. There's a bit of fresh meat to come in. So nice to be in here, fellas.
No race call.
No race call, mate. I don't have to fight my way in here for race call. I can come in and you can just have my opinions on a few things and hopefully chuck a few gags in there. But yeah, there was the green vest was the only way I used to get a game, and that's the same today.
I thought I'd lighten the load. You know, like first game, the captain, the coach would say, mate, just come in and play on instinct. And I said, no prep this week for the race call. Have a week off.
Nice.
Let's build up to something. I thought we don't want to force the race calls.
No.
You've been elite. Last week was the best you've done. I thought let's save it.
Though, while sunning the old bloody Rubik's Cubes on top of the head in Bali, brown dogs in the States.
Yeah. We could have done with, I mean, there was a few things. I had a few people in my crosshairs. Tommy Morris. Like, mate, if you need to get verification on who's buying a house or buying some property, mate, ring the real estate agents. Don't go ringing the people in the GWS head office.
Did he? I haven't caught this because I got group chats and that, but we knocked it on the head with Tobes on Monday night.
The Aces TFG got a run last night on the agenda setters.
What did he say? Did he mention how he was wrong?
Yeah, so it was framed in the end that the club apologised to him.
My mail is he has said the club told him that, and then he said he wasn't wrong, even though he went out with it and was wrong because the person at the club gave him the wrong information. Is that right?
Yeah.
So he's kind of been stitched up.
So do you sell any houses to AFL players? Like, do you have to?
No, look, I'm actually in commercial. I know. So we sell industrial factories and warehouses.
So
a lot more boring.
We
do sell. Yeah, we do. But I'd certainly
any from interstate that we can drop on the. Just really bury a few.
As an AFL player that's bought a big commercial.
Tell me about Zach Butters and how many commercial properties he's bought.
Apparently that's where you get more cash these days. Residential's dying.
Zach Butters and Ben King currently negotiating over an industrial block of land at the moment, guys. But I won't say too much more.
Good.
But
I'll verify it when they do. We won't throw something out there. That real estate agent down in Aries Inlet, geez, they'd be licking their lips this week, wouldn't they? Because they've been put on the map. Did Dill Buckley buy something down there as well?
No, he went down there. He went down there for a week. Yeah. Because he's thinking of moving down there. I said, a week's going to give you a real realistic view of what it's like. You
live there full time.
I think he wants to live down there full time, but he's done the week with the family just to get a taste.
Jesus
Christ. He couldn't name either suburb left or right side either on the podcast the other day, so he needs to do a bit more research.
The bloke drives back down the freeway looking at both mirrors at the same time.
I'm in charge of what's brewing for Inglewood this week, and we got a bit of a double shot. We're going double strength.
Taking straight into our friends at Inglewood what's brewing. I'll tell you what, mate, if there's a moment to talk about our friends at Inglewood and what's brewing, there's a lot to talk about this week. I feel like Tuesday night this week, everything just dropped. Like Jye Simpkin's Instagram story, the umpires, World Cup.
Well, you can start with Jye Simpkin.
Start there.
He's gone off on his social media, and I love this. Players should be doing more of this, and if they get fined, so be it. But the confusion, and the players are the ones that the game is about. Yeah, the fans, you come and you enjoy it, and we all want the same spectacle. But if the players are confused, what hope does bloody Mary and John from Narry Warren have in the stands to getting an outcome or an understanding of bloody anything? So Paul Curtis gets 3 weeks, goes to the tribunal. We don't know if that's going to be taken then to appeal, which who knows, again, the outcome, then it becomes mumbo jumbo. But 3 weeks for a tackle that he made the point that Mabior Child did on Tommy Stewart and got off 0 weeks.
Yep. That's the frustrating part for players. You reference all this stuff that they've done previously. You then see the mirror image of what that is, and then you cop 3 weeks versus 0. And North Melbourne need him. He's so important. He's already copped, I think last year, was it? He copped 3 weeks for a similar thing.
I thought I broke it down last year when he did it. I was like, bloke, tackle, knee hits the ground. That's the reason, the pivot point. And then you get marched out as 3 weeks. Doesn't even get a look in.
Consistency is the big thing, isn't it? Like everyone, I've seen people make comments that, the players know the rules, this, that, and the other. It's actually about consistency. Like, mate, it's human nature for people to see hypocrisy or double standards applied to anywhere. And that's the same with players. And I thought Jye Simpkin's just calling that out. They want to see consistency from if someone gets 3 weeks for the exact same thing where someone got 0 weeks, it just doesn't make any sense.
3 weeks is a big...
It's a massive hit.
I'm trying to think of stuff that people have done. Like you're talking like genuine elbows to the temple, and if he doesn't go down and doesn't get concussed, they might give you 2 or 3. It's 3 weeks is a lot in this day, and it feels so unfair.
The outcome of concussion becomes the big one. But is there a world where we have to have players almost, resigning to the fact that this is going to be part of the game? There's going to be times when you'll get tackled, even when the player has the duty of care and it's not the double motion, that there's just going to be an outcome that may be concussion, and you just have to cop that.
I love what Jye's done as well. I think we've all been in a footy club. I would love to know what's happened today when he's walked in, because there's elements of that. I'd hate for North Melbourne to say, we don't like what you did because you're putting yourself out there.
They couldn't,
you can get a fine. Well, they normally get fined for that stuff.
Yeah, but good on him.
But it's bullshit they even get fined when all he's doing is doing what we do here, is giving his opinion to the matter and referencing work that's been done from the AFL. Yeah. So it's kind of education that's gone wrong. It's like going to a math test when you're a kid and you got the bloody textbook and then the next year you got the textbook with a different answer. It's like, hang on a second. Yeah. You told me that was the formula last year. So the formula's changed. Everyone's confused and everyone's frustrated. So I'd be pissed off if he got fined. Yeah. And the AFL really need to come out and clear this up, because if AFL players don't understand it, what hope do the viewers have?
Well, that's long gone, viewers having any understanding of the inconsistencies with it. But on that point around Jye Simpkin coming out on social media, I think there's a real crossroads there where I think the media, you're in it, Daisy, is they would love to see more of that from players, and then it's going to inherently affect. Don't you think that will affect?
There's a cross section that think it's fantastic, a la myself, and then there's others that will just be using it for genuine fodder to say that the Kangaroos are a broken, disjointed club and they're outspoken. They should be worrying about winning. You win by 1 point. It's which is the world that makes it.
But headquarters is the other one. Is the AFL are going, like the AFL hates seeing that and probably always will. So the AFL want more money out of media. Media are going to promote things like that happening, and it makes a big story whether people in the media agree with Jye Simpkin or not. I think it creates great optics.
Yeah, it does. So let's go back to the actual incident. Momentum forward with the ball carrier, and then the tackler goes down. Right. So if the attacker has the ball and his momentum's going forward, and then you tackle him and his head hits the ground and he's concussed, how the hell do the AFL expect the tackler to then help them on the way down in a split moment?
Yep.
If the momentum of the attacker is going the other way, and then the tackler in Paul Curtis' situation then slings him back and he hits his head, I totally get it.
Yeah, but there was no double motion.
Exactly right. So that's why they need to clear it out. They need to clear that out. And they've got to understand that there's freak accidents. We saw that a couple of weeks ago on King's birthday.
Well, there was almost more understanding with that, the Brody Myercheck crack in the neck, that at the tribunal, that there's more understanding that every now and then there's going to be an accident that happens, which that was a footballing injury that comes out of a motion that is a footballing act that is just out of the blue, because that's a risk you take. It's a contact sport. You end up in weird positioning. But we almost, or the AFL did, accepted a crack in the neck with greater ease than they do the understanding that you can get concussed just as easily. Anyway, we can talk about this till we're blue in the face.
I'd love to see, because we're talking about one player going out. I'd love the whole North Melbourne Football Club to come out with a statement that they all share, and they share the exact same views as Jye Simpkin. He's standing up for his brother. He's a really important player for their club, and this is a year that you expect him to play finals, whether it's wild card or whatnot. And these kind of things happening to players in your team kill you. So you need to stand up as a club. Can't isolate one person and leave it up to few, too many. So I just want to say that well done to Jye Simpkin. I hope the AFL gets it right, and we all think it is a disgrace.
What about an important win for you on North Melbourne in our little side bet? Just a quick note.
Well, it's a big win. Then this kills me as well. There's a bit of a motivating factor behind the scenes. I don't want to discredit what I said, but there is, Daisy. And North Melbourne will play Collingwood. I think it's round 18. I have to double check that with the boys. But when that game happens, I can't wait to dress up in North colours, because that one feels like whoever wins it will win the bet. And to be honest, I need to win more than you, because it's $7,000 out of my pocket and 0 out of yours. And then I can maybe reset another bet at the end of the year.
Round 18, Collingwood, North Melbourne.
There you go.
Collingwood's won the
I've
last.
circled it in the calendar.
Collingwood's won the last six.
If you're looking at those 2 WA home games that North Melbourne sold, how are you judging it in terms of it? Like, have they evened the ledger by winning one of them? Like it's a 25-goal turnaround. Yes,
Geez, they only scraped in against the West
Yeah,
Coast.
big
We
time.
shouldn't be
Wins a
reviewing, but on a
But you
previous
take
show.
1 and 1 in 2 WA
Yeah,
trips, didn't you?
against Freo. You're never going to
No, you're never going to beat them.
expectation.
You just
147 points, stepped in the wrong direction. Players go
25
out on the
unanswered
piss,
goals.
get in trouble. Now they can't play. It's a bit going on at North Melbourne. Tommy, you're the big NFL man amongst us. I'm not sure where you stand on this, Nobby. But player trades and how much access and how much talk about it, speculation, clubs talking to players. The NFL don't allow it, yeah?
Yeah, there's windows for opportunity. So, like, you know where they are. And then there's obviously.
But outside of that, you get caught, you're fined.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
Not-
Damien Hardwick nailed it. And obviously, he's a big fan as well. And he thinks that we should bring it into the game. And I don't mind it because the distractions for Butters at the start of the year, then it was Toby. Now we're starting to see Jed Walter King. Yeah, they don't stop. Media have a field day. We know they can just make their own stories up these days. We've seen that this week. But it doesn't stop. And it would piss clubs off more than anything, especially when you're trying to keep a young core together. So having these windows, I'm all for. I actually agree with Dimmer. I think this, and they should also open up trade period, pre-season and mid-year for little 2-week periods because that would excite the competition. It would allow teams to trade for other.
What do you mean pre-season? So,
So-
after the draft and the trade,
Yep. So
do you then come in January before
February 20 to March 10 or even shorter, you can still trade players that are listed on your team
Jeez.
because they've fallen out of love with the coach. They've now, they're in a window where they're not going to win flags, but they've got a mature player that might be able to go to a club and they get picks. That's what they do. And it just it turns the season around for some teams. Like, for example, Carlton, if they go out and beat Giants, they win 5 in a row, all of a sudden there'd be a trade window like now where they can then get a couple big things done to then excel for the back end of their year. It only goes for a week. And then you can kind of set your season up for a potential run at it. But you can also burn yourself by giving away futures. It's an exciting thing that you could bring in. It would be a big shift.
It'd be very progressive for the AFL.
Well, everything else is progressive. I mean, you and the boys were breaking down the umpiring last night and the
That's not
stand
overly
rule.
progressive.
I actually, for the first time in my life,
That's
actually
progressive.
agree with what the Corn said. The stand rule
Yep.
is the worst rule ever. Toby Green and Jezza Cameron love it. I've gone head to head with them.
Yep.
They love it. Why? It
they do.
opens up the game.
Yeah.
But it's so confusing, and I couldn't agree
So
more.
you'd rather a worse spectacle of football with a better adjudication of a rule?
Well, we've grown up since we were fucking 3 to just stand the mark, right? Whether you can come from the side or whatever. You need to have a man on the mark. And yeah, you can get cheeky with it. Hawthorn were the best at it. They started going on the
That's why
angle.
it's been changed because
Yeah,
the
but
game
just-
became huge.
It's more the stand rule. Change the name of it then. The whole stand thing. It feels like you got to like freeze. It should be
Well,
called freeze rule.
That's
Because it's
what
like
they've
freeze.
been-
They've changed
They've
that,
opened up
though.
the
Yeah,
interpretation.
but it's
how
just
to
so
say-
hard to understand. What pisses me off is in quick play, when they go through the corridor and there's no one on the mark, who can then stand the mark?
no one.
But that's just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because you're meant to stand the
That
mark.
part of it I
But
agree
imagine
with.
trying to adjudicate that.
Yeah.
That's where it becomes really hard. And when you played football your whole life and you got people that are 90 that watch football on the weekend,
Yep.
that played and watched their whole lives, they go, what the fuck is this?
Well, the game's changed enough in our era, let alone for
But you can't
people-
keep changing everything.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You
I
get smoked
like
on
the fact that
planes
opening
when
up
these
the...
people were watching football though. Like
correct.
they're starting to
Yeah.
evolve.
Mate, I'm still watching games they can't
No
score
point, no
70
point,
points
mate.
and they got the
Yeah.
fucking stand rule. Hey, they've got all these rotations. Like, just strip it back. 5 on the bench. Keep the game as it was. We're in good shape.
5 on the bench.
Yeah, well, they got 5 on the
Unlimited
bench now.
rotation.
I mean,
Darts
how
at
many
half time. Have a pie. Have
Yeah.
yourself a scotch and get on with
Yeah,
it.
exactly right.
Well,
Play
your
on.
old coach has gone straight for the throat of the
Him
umpires
and Luke
and wanted them
Ball.
all dropped. Did you see him and Luke Ball going head
that's,
to head?
that
He
blew
just
up.
said drop
Nick's
them all.
old school, though. He's too old school.
And Bally just loves poking the bear.
Yeah, but Bally makes a good point. No one wants to umpire the game anymore.
No.
And all the guys that are good are old. And Nick Voltaire goes, I don't care, bring him back. And then Bally goes, well, what happens when they want to retire? We've got no umpires. And Mick kind of said, yeah, roll them out.
So they're talking about taking the game to India. Why don't we? I'm all
don't
for-
get me started.
Well, before we do get you started, because I'll fire you right up. But say that money you're going to be repurposing, that is going to be a fair shit ton. It's a lot. It's a large portion of a percentage of what's made overall. Why don't we have an umpire academy Why don't you pay umpires to be full-time? Why don't you make it, if you're not good enough to play AFL footy, you at least want to be an AFL umpire because you can earn yourself $600,000 a year. And if you're the best, you get incentives on top of that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And have it so there is an aspirational process and pathway to get to. How hard is that? And then you actually have accountability. If you do a shit job, it's your livelihood. You're going to have to go back to digging holes. Like if you're shit at your job as a footballer, you're going to get resold and get delisted after 2 years.
It's a pretty good career, isn't it? They get paid well.
But even like make it better.
The top end do, don't they? To the bottom end.
Well, but like everything. If you're good enough to come through a draft, you Nick Dacos of umpiring, after a year and a half, everyone goes, geez, this kid does not miss.
Yeah, but I also agree. I think the bottom end should be given more resources as well, right?
But they're not. This is the whole issue.
Correct.
It's sort of like, they're an important part of the game, but we'll give them 3/5 of bugger all, and then we'll complain that they don't do a professional job or to the level. When it's the game's changing so much, and they're not getting the opportunity to evolve with it because of resources. Blows your head off. But India, what are your thoughts?
Well, I can see why Dave Matthews is standing out the Giants. Because I bet you what's going to happen is, congratulations, GWS Giants. You're going to play at Alice Springs, Darwin, Canberra, and you're going to India. Like, how good is this? Good on you, boys. Good luck to you. You're going to send the Giants to India. Hey, how fucking good's that from Dylan? What a horrific idea that is. Why don't you take them to Hollywood at least? Somewhere there's a show. Look at the World Cup, Dylan. I mean, put them at SoFi Stadium in front of 60,000 with the best stadium in the world. We're going to take him to India. What's he thinking?
Well, I'll tell you
what he's thinking. Campbell Brown must be talking about playing a little double header, Kabaddi to start into the GWS Giants versus the Indian. I don't know what they're going to be. Have we got an Indian team joining the league soon?
No, we don't. No. It's reported the Western Bulldogs are keen, so that's good for them. Meet Baines, they're higher up, has Indian heritage, so good for the game in that regard. But to get over there, because of the population, Tommy, there's 8 billion people or however many, square per capita, however you break all this stuff down. It's incredible how many people are there. You see them play cricket in the streets. That's everywhere. So if you can just
100,000 playing AFL football over there.
100,000 people.
Don't get me wrong. I'm excited that we're taking it international, but India is the first choice because they got a heap of population.
Yeah.
Well, mate, I tell you, there's
100,000 people playing in India per population might be 0.001%. 100,000 people playing in New Zealand is probably 10%. So,
well, they've done some research already. So Bulldogs are keen. GWS will have to put their hat in the ring. Fremantle are one group that said they're definitely not going because Paddy Voss said, I've been shitting through the eye of a fucking needle already in Australia this year. I'm not going over there to eat out of a buffet and eat the curry and shit all my way through a game over in India. So they're not going. But I get the same feeling, mate. It'll be someone like fucking GWS.
They'll turf a club where they can't fill a stadium. 100%. And at least they'll put on a show. They'll get the Ferrari out, the Giants. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I've always wondered why we haven't taken this game to America. Every American that comes out loves this game. They can't believe the physicality.
We've got draft combines in America, like in terms of trying to recruit players.
Yeah, they're probably a closer, there's more.
The issue becomes when you take it to places like America, where can you then grow the game from a perspective of you need big ovals?
Yeah,
that's why it works so well.
Cricket's becoming massive in America.
But they're playing them on
the same reason the Indian migration.
But they're also playing them on suspect-sized grounds on baseball fields. Like it's easier to manipulate a cricket pitch than it is an AFL footy ground.
I mean, at this point, what was the game that we brought back about 8 years ago? I think I played in it. It was 7-on-7.
AFLX.
Let's just bring back AFLX and play it at SoFi Stadium. I mean, we might as well. We're making up every other fucking rule.
While we're on the States, the World Cup's on, the soccer. It's all happening. As someone who genuinely loves soccer, or football, world game, the great sport, the beautiful sport that is. I think Lionel Messi and Capel Dev have dominated.
No, you've got to give it a bit of airtime, mate. This is what brings the nation together. What about our man from Spain, Mikel Oyarzabal? He's the first player since 1966 to go 30 minutes without touching the ball in a World Cup game. I tell you what, fellas, thank fuck I didn't play soccer. Oh, mate, I didn't touch it in my last game until three-quarter time. I had one at three-quarter time. I reckon that was the quietest I went for, I don't know, it's like 90 minutes, one touch. So I reckon
that gives me a bit of PTSD for most of my career. They're 30 minutes. I'm thinking I'm still happy enough if I get through 30 minutes. I'm still waiting for one.
30 minutes without a touch in soccer is ridiculous.
Honestly, he should get an award for that. That's crazy. And then we've got, this is the big one though. Let's talk about breaking news here with our friends at Inglewood Coffee. And by the way, end of financial year, up to 50% off. Get online. But the 40-year-old Cape Verde goalkeeper, I should say.
Yeah, what's his name?
Vizina. He recorded 7 saves Monday, but
Just one name.
But holding down Spain's star-studded lineup in a shocking draw, right? Don't know what the price was for the draw, but I went back to our friends at PointsBet, and there's a punter out there that's had $10 on every draw that day, and he's taken home $8,900. He's just gone draw, and taken home $8,900. But one of the biggest upsets of all time. And I just thought to you guys, let's twist it. Who would be a 40-year-old or someone older that you'd love to bring out of retirement, and you can insert them into the AFL side for one game for your former clubs?
I thought you were going to say goalkeeper. I was like Spider Burton. Just good luck getting past them.
Well, mine's already written down here. Like when I saw that question last night, like Dustin Fletcher would be that one because I saw him on the weekend. He still looks in shape. But the funny thing was, he was 40 when he finished. He's now 52 or something like that.
Do you reckon you can bring him back for a game?
He
just
looked
to keep
exactly the same. Haircut, not one grey. Like still looks in the same nick.
What kind of rig was he running, Dusty?
Mate, well, I'll never say a bad word about Fletch, but he didn't train super hard, didn't sit in the weight room. Mate, all he used to do in the off-season was he would run up and down the straight of the Mooney Valley racecourse because he lived around the corner.
Mooney Valley, that's about 120 metres as well. It's not exactly
Fletch would just be jogging
It's not
through
exactly Flemington, the straight 1,200 metres.
grass, and that was his thing. He'd run up and down probably 5-minute 50 pace. So there you go, boys.
Well, I can't bring back a 40-year-old because he's still playing. Pendles. And we're going to get another one in Lockie Neal.
Oh, yeah.
We're ahead of the curve
There
here,
you
fellas.
go. Big Ralphie dropping bombs. What a job.
What about some of the markets, though?
I got one. I'd love to bring Sean McManus back. I reckon when they bring the vintage, I know they got stealth mode this week, which looks elite. Can't wait for that one. But you know the old vintage retro Docker kit? I'd love Shawnee McManus to get the curls out and just plonk himself at forward pocket when they play the Eagles later in the year. Wouldn't that be a story?
Well, and then on the soccer theme, like Clive Waterhouse used to wear those gloves and he looked like a fucking good goalkeeper too, didn't he? Like, he used to rock, like
Well, he didn't,
lanky.
Yeah, it didn't didn't consume much of the ball. It was a lot of, so maybe there's something in that. Clive was ahead of the game, sort of
Clive was
already
like,
knocking it over.
He had the double fisted spoil.
We should straighten up here, though. We should straighten
Why?
up and get back a little bit because AFL trade period we spoke about, but the talk around
the
Jed
Australia
Walter.
USA market.
Oh, well, the Australia USA market.
$5.50 to beat the USA. Turkey ran their mouth, we flogged them. The USA have run their mouth, we'll flog them.
And our man Brown Dog will be there in Seattle, which is where Morgs does his best work. Actually wearing the Seattle Seahawks jacket today. Yeah, we've got to get behind our Aussies. If they beat US, this would be huge.
$5.50.
I know.
What
it's
price
juice.
is Donald Trump to fall asleep in the crowd there?
$1.01.
You get $1. Okay, all right. I was going to beef that up a little
Which
bit.
is arguably overs.
Yeah, big time.
30-minute nap is the line there.
Old Captain Snooze in every sporting game at the moment, isn't
Oh,
he?
Jeff.
Well, why you mentioned
freaking
while you're talking about the World Cup and Turkey, it reminds me of some hairstyles, and it brings back to some great memories around. There's been some unique hairstyles. Look at Ronaldo. Like, how much would I have to pay you to roll a Ronnie on the podcast, boys?
A bit.
With the head that I've got, fucking a fair bit of money.
I reckon if there's Nobby has a bit of Ronnie about him, don't you reckon?
And that is a front.
I just have to bring the fade down about
He
15
brings it
centimetres.
front for sure. You could just shave the back. I reckon Nobby could do that by the end of the
Strong
year.
hairline you've got there.
What else we got there? We
David,
got
see, I'd roll that.
Yeah, that looks more like me.
I nearly went, that was nearly my big freeze costume.
David
I was going
Beckham.
to go to David Beckham with the bleached mohawk.
Yeah. That would have been sharp. I mean, anything Beckham did was elite. That's 202. What about 1990?
Walls.
Carlos Valderrama. What's the red afro here? What do we call that?
That's Wall.
That's Mitchie Wallace.
It's Mitchie Wallace.
How do you say his name, Daisy, on the run sheet?
Mitch Wallace. MITCH.
Anyone that's listening, we're
no,
throwing photos up.
That's Carlos Valderrama.
Valderrama. Valderrama.
I tell you, look at that. Those shorts are choking hazards.
Oh, yeah. Gee,
Choking the plums and also
the Spanish slugs, they were called back in 99.
Didn't you used to run you had a couple of questionable ones back in the day?
Yeah, I did actually.
questionable.
Was it the top knot feature at somewhere?
I had a real average top knot, actually. Yeah.
I went
That's
a
a
little
cry for
side
help.
pony.
What it was, I used to
Side
slick
knot.
the hair back, and then I used to love it long, and then you'd start get in your face. Then I started tying it up, and then I shaved the bottom bit here, which meant you had to get it up there. Looking back, I'll never forget. I shaved it off and went and got it, short back and sides, and walked back in the locker room the next day. And Aaron Sandilands went, Thank fuck you cut that off. I'll start talking to you again.
Got turf toe from booting you in the arse.
Yeah, he hated it. But he's one of those blokes that never told me he hated it until I cut it. He goes, thank fuck you did that.
They're the worst. Those ones that just sit on
I don't know what I was thinking.
What was Sandy like in the locker room?
He's the best bloke of all time. Yeah, one of the best.
I remember chirping him and he didn't say a thing back and it was really unsettling. I was like chirping him and like, look at this, you fucking mooch on McDonald, you big fucking, look at you fucking big lurch. And you just go, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, well, okay, you can actually consume me here.
Yeah. I love him so much. He's one of the best blokes you ever met.
Landscaping business. Fucking want to hope you got a fucking 700 square metre block so that you can actually fit on there when he's laying down on your gun bed.
He was a monster though. He's a monster.
Yeah.
Anything else from Seg 1, Morgie? You happy with that? Yeah, good. All right, let's don't go anywhere, punters. A big second segment coming up. We'll have a look at the Prophet Propeller and much, much more.
And let's see if the India game goes better than the one in China in 2019. Wasn't that a cracker? See you after the break.
Me? I like something a little hot.
Turn up the heat with PointsBet, this State of Origin. Place a head-to-head bet on State of Origin Game 2. And if your team is up at half-time, you win. That's right. Back the Queenslanders or the Blues, and if they go into the break ahead, get paid out early as a winner. See your account for personalised max stake limit. PointsBet. It's like hot sauce, but for sport.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Welcome back to the Aces pod. This is the Aces AFL pod. Tommy, very good. It's always a pleasure when you don't have to host because I feel like you really elevate yourself. So very good. But Knobster, I tell you what, give the real estate and race calling away, son. You've got a future in this business. You said 3 words in that opening thing that I couldn't spell and had more than 4 syllables. Outstanding. And just to add a bit more sizzle to the show, a bit more hot sauce, we got the 100K superstar himself in Morgie coming in. The Seahawks fanatic. Have a look at him.
Hey, Campbell Brown goes away, Wall goes away, and in comes the producer. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hot start, though. It's hard to write a run sheet for you boys. That was erratic as Dave Hughes last month. Honestly.
Hey, hasn't he been? He's been unbelievable.
Mate,
Hughes.
It's amazing what happens if you start speaking the truth that everyone is saying behind not the screen of the camera and say it on camera. You're probably going to get some support. This state is fucked.
He might be our
That was a
Prime
Dave
Minister
Hughes.
soon, Dave.
That was a Dave Hughes quote, by the way, not my own thoughts. Just to save the Aces in the wild, because
Well, Daisy, I'm loving you hosting because I love what you got. What do you got for us now? I think I can see.
Tommy, the Propeller, the bloody hallmark, the flagship show, the
mate.
segment of the show.
How are your shoulders?
Yeah, mate, have a look at them.
Tell you whose shoulders would be. I know the boys are on holidays, but I think they got their shoulder reconstructions. Not in. That doesn't make sense because they wouldn't have short shoulders.
They've dropped the
Half the brain was going with one. It's a bit like when I copied that oral presentation, boys. I copied one of the half and half against.
You got the Agatha Panthers this week.
Yeah, I still don't know what that means. Happy fungus. But tell you what, Matty Rao was a lock and Nick Larkey was a lock. But yeah, Wallace, 1-39. That is very stiff. I thought if anyone was stiff, it was Wall. And then Big Van Roy and our man who's been on the pod, he missed one late, but we'd already lost the Propeller by then. But yeah, we need to get to another hot start. Let's get it back, boys. Let's get it back.
The club's letting themselves down too lately, I've noticed. I think it's probably 2 out of 3, maybe 3 out of the last 4 that they haven't hit. Need the clubs to find
I
some.
love the hot sauce though. I think it was $19,000 that they were going for this week. So I love when we see it closer to 20K.
Well, the Nick Larkey leg was $2.40 or something.
Jeez,
so when we've been doing, and you've been big on it because you are the oracle of the big legs, considering none of them hit.
I'm leading. I'm the leader.
Yeah, shut up. The new club, Morgs.
Yeah,
I was
mate.
going to say it, but I looked at their first name and couldn't quite get it out. I know they're the Cobras.
It's what's in your pants. There you go.
Albinvale.
Tiny Cobras. Oh, sorry, my pants, not yours. The Frightened Turtles.
Where we got Morgs?
Albinvale.
yeah.
Don't know where that is,
No,
but
it's a good
welcome
place.
to the wheel.
Beautiful
All right.
part of the
Cobras,
country.
though. Isn't that a nice little back up there? The Cobras. Yeah. Benny Stiller's their captain, I think.
Very good. So have you got your leg, Tommy?
I
Do you know-
got 2. I've been bringing 2 to the table, and you guys have been great steering me in the right direction. So I'm going to Melbourne-Adelaide game. I feel like Melbourne are playing attacking brand. They don't defend as well. And I just think Adelaide are the hottest team in the competition at the moment. So I've got 2 players. This guy's done us dirty in the past, but he's one of my favourites. He's the reason I did a punishment in Adelaide. It was Darcy Fogarty for 2, but $2.20 for 2 goals from the Fog is something I really like. And then if I go to Thilthorpe, he's $2.25 for 3. Now, these guys dominated last week, but they didn't kick a goal in the second half. It was just everyone was kicking goals, but them two. Hilltop kicked 3 in the first quarter. So I just felt like they're trying to find him some form. He's playing deep. Fogg's more up the lead, but he doesn't miss when he has a shot. So where do we want to go? You want to go to the main man in being Liver King or Fogg?
No. You don't put this on us. Where do you want to go, Thomas?
Cool.
Well, it feels like it's easier to kick 2 than 3. So I'm leaning Fogg, but I don't want to. He doesn't like being on the propeller, I don't reckon. So I don't know. I'm literally looking at the knobster maybe as a third party.
Fogg. Yeah, get Fogg for 2.
Fogg?
Give him retribution. Let him.
I'd love to put him as the hero.
Yeah.
Righto.
And this is right up your alley. This is sort of like James Hird coaching again.
Yeah.
It didn't go so well the first time. You've rolled out the Fogg, but
Everyone deserves a second chance in life. So Fogg for 2 it is for $2.20 for hopefully maybe the Cobras or anyone else out there.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe the anteaters.
Like the leg.
What do you guys got? What do you guys
Let's bring
got?
it up a notch.
That's more like what's in Daisy's pants, I think. Anyway.
What do you
It's
got
a new
for us?
segment, actually.
that is a new segment. I am going to the St Kilda game. Hugo Garcia playing midfield minutes. His possession line still only 22.5. Cover that 27 and 29 the last fortnight. $1.87. I think he does that and pretty comfortable with the fact that he will be getting midfield minutes. That's the one that they like in there, and he gets the ball. Nash gets all the attention. Play on.
Yeah, I like that. Bulldogs aren't probably going to put anything into him. Does he go to Bont or Richards?
He wouldn't know. Windtaker's the tagger.
Thanks for sorting that.
He's been going to. Well, he went to Finn Callahan last week, didn't he? Didn't he run around with him a little bit?
Who?
Your man.
No.
Well, you said that last time about Butters and West Coast not tagging. They don't tag. But anyway, well, have you got another option? Because I don't love it.
No.
He's in too good a form. Too good a form.
Yeah, okay. Strike while you're hot. Like
Thank
it.
you.
We're checking on Wall too. He'll be in the Savo, but we're going to lead him. You got any tips for Wall?
So Wall was in Bali.
Wall's in Bali, yep. So he'll be still in the propeller. He'll send us through the
What did you
video.
say to him on text? He wasn't happy with your text.
No, I said he's enjoying a couple of gluten-free club sandwiches, and he said he's smashing the Hendrix. So good for him.
Well, if I was giving Walt any advice, and I know he won't take it from me, but his old mob in the same game actually, the Bulldogs and Kilda game, so he probably won't listen to this anyway. I like Jack McRae for 21 touches plus at $1.83 playing against his old mob. I reckon he sits about 7 deep in people that the Bulldogs will be really having a good look at. And from my own experience, I think he had about 8 in 10 seconds on me one night. I reckon he'll get 21. He'll scrap 22 together easy.
He
$1.83. That's what I'd say to Wall if he stops sucking bintangs and then.
No,
he's not on the bin tanks, mate. Too much gluten.
I know. What are the chances he's actually drinking Hendrix too?
Well,
like it'll be in a Hendrix bottle, but it's the same one that filled a scooter, mister.
Well, we're going to get Walls on the line. We're going to work on, let's be fully transparent here. We've got to have me, Daisy, and Wall make the selections.
Yep.
But we would, we'll have a look at whether we can get the knobster in when I'm on.
Does that mean I have to spin?
You spin, I witness, and we'll work out who that is when I'm away. So you'll be spinning, and you're going to give it a spin now in Seg 2. This is big, as we said. The Alban Vale Cobras are on. Last week, the team that was on ended up landing on it, so give it a good spin. While Daisy, I don't know how his flexibility is going. I'm not sure if he's going to be picked for that Legends game moving like that, but I've heard a rumour. So you're going to go pull it back towards yourself. Give it a good pull. Here we go. It's off. The propeller.
Yeah, really nice.
Who's it going to be? There's a few teams that have been there from the start. This week's local club on the Prophet Propeller is, Riddles Creek would be stiff. It's the Georgetown Football Club.
And I'm pretty sure they are the stick people.
The Stick People Saints. Yeah.
Where's Georgetown?
Still got a bit, I don't know who Georgetown is.
A couple of made-up towns in here.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I had an email or a message. I can't remember what it was, but it was a lawn bowls club that wants to get on the Propeller. G'day, mate. I'm not sure what kind of club, but our lawn bowl, I said, I need to get back to them. But sorry, mate, it's a football and netball clubs only. We're going to have to next year look at lawn bowl. Imagine the old boys just putting them.
Unbelievable sport.
Yeah.
By the way.
Oh, Crackerjack.
Yeah. All right, Morgs, bring us home with one of your favourite segments here. What do you got?
I got a couple for you. Game of the week. I just want to know your game of the week coming up. Avoid tonight or avoid tomorrow night if you can, but Knob?
The Bulldogs and St Kilda. The Bulldogs need to be top 6 this year. But look, injuries, despite that, Brisbane, Geelong and everyone had injuries last year, still got it done. And St Kilda, with their run home, they don't leave Melbourne again this year. If they happen to win this week, they go up to 8 wins and set the rest of the year up and get a good scalp. So I think that game, all eyes on it for me.
Playing the role of Wall perfectly too, inserting the dogs in the show.
I didn't catch most of that because I just got a panic attack flying up to the Goldie this weekend for Channel 7 and got a Jetstar update mate.
Oh,
I was like, I haven't fallen out of favour that much. Good news, it was just a sale for South Korea. Fares are from $330.
Well, you get one for your ticket to India as well.
I was just going to say, they stop over there on
And
the
the
way to
financial
Mumbai. I think.
sale. Book your flights,
Good
everyone.
news is so still flying 1A on the major carriers. Continue, Tommy. Where were we at?
We're talking about games of the week,
yeah.
and Morg said not to talk about Thursday night, but I will quickly. I think it's going to be a cracker. Stealth mode.
Thought he might.
Stealth mode, though, for we know that the Wharfie time, but they've got the new kit, so look out for that. Jezza goes over there. This is a big game. I mean, you're talking about first v third. How good are the Cats going? And if the Dockers win this, they're that far ahead of everybody else below them except for Sydney, and they set themselves up. But the game I'll talk about in depth for me, I wanted to talk Suns, Hawks, but I'll leave it. I think it's the Giants and Carlton because I think the loser is in a lot of trouble, and they're both, they both need to win this. Blues are red hot. Giants played all right last week against the Saints, but dropped that one, probably shouldn't have, and they need to improve inside 50. But we'll get an idea of where the Blues are at. And just had Paddy Cripps on the podcast as well, and that's one.
Did you get to the bottom of the meeting they had, or if they had a meeting, or if they said they wanted to win?
Left that alone. Different angle with Cripper, but we spoke about Vossi and everything else
need
and
to
some
talk about the most
exclusives.
topical thing that's happened in the last month of football.
Yeah, no, we talked about a lot of things, but more about Patrick Cripps, the person and the athlete, and what he's gone through, and that big mark.
And whether or not he could provide you a new hoodie to plug his brand on this podcast.
And a couple of magnesium tablets so I can relax the muscles after a big sesh.
Who would you rather coach though out of those two?
What do you got, Daisy?
Which type of sesh? Because there's some feedback from Aces in the Wild about you on the the hammies might be tight. We'll touch on that in a moment. I'm going to the Gold Coast Hawthorn game. Friday night footy. The Gold Coast Suns were putrid last week, and their game
Huge.
is in
Capital P.
Absolute all sorts. A contested ball. It was always a strength. Clearance differential a strength. They're now 18th ranked for that. 18th at taking a mark from a kick inside forward 50, which is remarkable considering they got a bloke who's leading the Coleman. So they pretty much kick it to him and he catches it, or they're toast. And Hawthorn aren't going that great. So for a side in the Hawks that's sitting fifth that are just ticking along, great result for them. But the Gold Coast Suns, talk about season on the line. It's Hawthorn this week, Freo next week, Freo over at Optus Stadium. This is a fortnight that could define their season after losing, of course, to Brisbane and Geelong. So the litmus test is now they've failed it twice so far. Comes again Friday night footy at their home patch. And I tipped Hawthorn. We looked at the early markets on Monday. Some weird reason I've gone full circle on this with absolutely no real rhyme nor reason from a statistical point of view. I think the Gold Coast Suns win this one.
Barras back though?
Barras will be back, we
That's a big
believe,
in.
but Gunston's still bipty.
Good value as well, like for a propeller bet if you wanted to change, which you won't. $2.07 at the moment. And
It's a big story though.
they don't lose it. Have they lost there yet this year, boys? They rarely lose at home.
Yeah.
I can tell you.
No, Brisbane got them there, didn't they?
Brisbane smacked them, that's
Only
right.
2
But
weeks
before
ago.
that, I feel like they, but no team outside of Queensland's beat them.
They didn't play there for about 2 months as well.
I
which
reckon
is
they've dropped
true.
a couple there, haven't they, or not?
Surely, Daisy,
As a bloke who's watched them,
They've
doesn't
beaten
work.
West Coast, they've beat.
no, they haven't lost the game there. I'm positive,
Essendon.
except for
Yeah, no, you're
except
right.
for the Brisbane one.
Yeah.
What would Dimmer be saying just randomly while they just died? But what do you reckon? Because Dimmer would be a bit stressed here. This is a real big game. If they lose this, they're cooked. Their season's cooked.
Yep.
So what would he be saying this week? Because they got the best players in the competition. That midfield, Tuke Miller, Anderson, Rao, Petrarca. What are they missing?
They're not missing anything except maybe some defensive pressure. They don't tackle. They don't apply enough pressure. So I honestly don't know what he'd be saying because they don't tag either, which is an issue. And they don't apply enough pressure. So it's just like a pretty friendly
You get
game.
Rao to go to Newcombe and say head-to-head just to
I
maybe
would just
nullify
love
his
them to
impact?
start, they're frustrated at umpire stuff. They take your frustration out on the man and really into him. Sort of.
Does that come from Hardwick himself a bit though? Like every game, it feels like it's the umpires. It's like a Marvel Stadium. It's weather. I think that comes sometimes, just becomes a bit repetitive from him after each game.
You reckon that filters in?
I'm not saying it necessarily filters in, but
I think you are.
Yeah, no.
Well, fucking, I am.
that's
Actually,
exactly
yeah,
what
I am. Yeah. No, but I just picked that up.
Yeah.
Every press conference, like last week, I made a joke about it mid-game. Dimmer will play in the weather here or something like that. And sure enough, you fucking
blamed
watch
the
the press
fans.
conference, he's mouthing off about the fans. As a bloke who coached Richmond with one of the great Cauldrons when they were a good team, like they used to spook every umpire.
Good point.
Anyway, So,
He's got his
14
work
game
cut out
plan,
for him,
mouth off
Dimmer. He's
against
got to
the
really
Championship
earn it up
Coast.
there. Nothing. It's very tough to win anything on the Gold
Were you
Coast.
going to go profound then and give us a quote that you pulled out of? Nothing in this
No,
life
I
comes.
don't have quotes in this
No?
brain today.
Oh, I thought you were about to roll on.
Need a
So
few more
nothing
magnesium
that's-
tablets from Olivia and
Hey,
Cripper.
just rolling into the last segment of the second segment, Billy's jockstrap. No,
Yeah.
there's nothing in the world under more duress than a jockstrap around the waist of Billy Brown. I've said it before and I'll say it again.
It's reported there's actually one of the rings of Saturn.
This is a pass or play job. So who's under more pressure? So I don't go coaches because I don't like going after coaches.
Yeah.
Gold Coast or Greg Swan? Because if I Greg Swan my job, I'd be fired.
What do you mean?
He's not doing a great job, is he?
Well, is he?
Well, it has to be Gold Coast because
I like
the
Swanee.
I like
AFL.
Swanee as well, but I like
I
him to
wanna
stand up a bit more.
I think it probably just speaks to how many issues there are.
Yep, I
Is
agree
it
with
all,
that.
All you do is putting out spot fires.
If you're a captain's pick at the AFL, you are safe as houses for a lot longer than Greg Swan's had. So I'm saying Gold Coast.
And we probably need to change that expression with the amount of crime in this state at the minute.
Yeah.
Because houses ain't that safe.
Yeah, fucking big time.
Whether it's
Sorry,
investing
Brownie.
or
Brownie, you'll be
actually from
fucking
a
ringing me
security
after
point
this.
of view. And
Would have
15
loved
people
Brownie on
coming in
today. He would have
and
been
borrowing
leading
your
Rick.
car with machetes.
Jeez, that clip went bananas last week. Hey, so many people.
I'll take the Gold Coast Suns.
Thank you.
Because this was the
Gold
year that they're
Coast.
meant to.
Yep.
They won a final last year. They're meant to be top 4 and finishing thereabouts. Tommy, you have to have a speaking engagement now with that.
Yeah, I think Gold Coast Suns because of what they've got there, and that, I'd love to know. Jamar Ugle-Hagan has to start, just get in that side, and they need to just click into gear, and I think they will. But yeah, if they don't win this week, that's the one. So
I got one last question for you. I won't go through every player, but Daisy, if you're Jed Walters' manager, what are you telling him?
How much cash would you like and where would you like to spend it?
Beautiful.
and where would you like to play?
Well, spending it and playing probably, if he says Torquay, he'd be playing for Geelong.
You can still invest in Torquay and play at the Gold Coast.
Oh, here he is. Oh, bloody.
Tommy Morris Jr.
I would be saying, mate, what is it? Do you want to be there or not? Because either way, we can start this ball rolling one way or the other. There's dominoes that will fall, obviously, with King, whether he signs or not as well. And apparently that's causing some unrest in the camp. But Jed Walder, he could be anything still. And we know that with the way the league is, you get paid more on potential than you do your actual currency from a monetary point of view. So 8 years for however much you want, Jed. Oh, yes, please.
Yes,
Well, I know his manager well, big Johnny Meeson.
I'll give him a call.
And Miso's done a great job of picking up Jed Walters. He actually played at Palm Beach with my mate Benny Mack, and I watched him, and he was just a machine. I go, "Who's that bloke?" And Miso was like, "That's me client," and that was years ago. And he's become this big multi-million-dollar
You should
man.
get into recruiting.
Oh,
Tommy.
mate, it's not hard. Seriously.
Yeah.
I remember playing school. I remember playing
you
school footy once, and I go,
identified
"Who the
the
fuck's this bloke? He's kicked 5 in a corner, Jake Stringer." I mean, there's a talent.
The top 2 pick in the draft. You're incredible.
It's not that hard, is it? The big talent. Anyway, back to the
That's
story.
nice. Yeah.
Johnny Meeson would be having a field day with this. I would send him straight to Essendon, boys. They need to have him paired with Caddy because Ben King and him in the same forward line don't look like they're working. And I reckon it's time to play in front of a big crowd and separate yourself from the pack.
I'd say there's a house that's just been passed in after auction in fucking Aries Inlet that Toby Green didn't buy. Go and throw a low ball offer in and go and play Geelong. That's what I'd be saying.
Just to be serious though, how come Hawthorn have their nose on every player? Like, how much money does this club have? Or are they like Morgs back in the day on Tinder when he was single, just swapping you right to everything?
Feels like me on Tinder back
I've
in the
been
day as
single
well.
since 16, so that's a problem. But move along. Hey, put a bow in this segment.
Oh, he doesn't like. Look at that. I really put him in the hot seat. No, but seriously, Hawthorn have their name on every player. You had a contract, Hawthorn's interested, so Geelong.
How many did you match with?
Don't do
What's
it.
your strike rate?
Tinder wasn't around when I was single.
Where would you go if you were Jed Walter? Be honest. If King signs for 2 years, there goes your forward line. Let's call it what it is. But you're going to be playing in a successful team. Jamar Ugle-Hagan's there.
Collingwood could get me. I'd go to Collingwood.
So let's just a big club back home.
Yeah, he would be. The only slight issue, you'd have to be number one banana straight away with what they've got as a emerging and young developing forward. But the prospect of becoming an absolute superstar at a club that's got however many thousand members, you're playing all the big games.
Him and Caddy together. I know you're laughing at me because I've been going big on Essendon, but I did say they need to land 3 big recruits, and he would be one of them. It makes sense. It would be if you're getting paid $1 million a year and you're next to Caddy. That's a pretty nice forward line amongst Kako and these other young stars.
Yep.
You got to think that would be appealing if King signed a 2 or 4 yearer.
Yeah, but I think that's more appealing for Essendon than it is for him
Why?
Great call.
because it's almost a sideways or a downward diagonal movement to go to Essendon in terms of where their list's at and where their capability is
And
to
what
win
you're gonna
finals.
get service
And I
coming
think at
at you.
his age, if he's going to have big money, you want to know that you can go somewhere and be insulated by the people around you. And that's a Geelong, Collingwood, Hawthorn, where you're best insulated. You're playing big games, and you know that you're going to be helped by good teammates. Like you can't guarantee that at Essendon. I'd love to see it at Essendon.
It's a good point.
but to your
With like
point on-
Jezza
to
and
your
Shannon
point on
Neal, how's it
Hawthorn,
going to work there for 2 years?
Well,
You're
yeah,
kind of sitting
one of
third
them-
fiddle.
Well, Shannon Neal would probably become then
But-
some sort of speculation of trade,
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
The other one would St Kilda be into him as well? Because I look at like
They wouldn't have any cash.
well, the report they'll find some.
No, but
Hawthorn needs a full forward.
But if you're going to Hawthorn, right, if you're a midfielder and you're a gun midfielder, it's like, oh, well, I get to play alongside Newcombe. The ruck stocks are pretty handy, but they still have a point of difference.
Yeah.
You're playing the forward line. It's like, well, geez, if I'm good enough to play in here, how good? Like, they want me. And if you're playing the back line, Battle, Barras, Sicily, she's happy days. You're going to be playing in a side that is going to play in the right manner. You're going to have the absolute best chance of being your best footballing self. That's why I think they're getting so much interest from everyone. An easy sell.
Just feel like as a player as well, though, Essendon and Collingwood seem like they might up the ante with the cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money
No
talks,
doubt.
as they say. And I feel like those clubs will have more than the clubs like Hawthorn and Geelong, especially when they're going after every player, it seems.
Yeah.
And Lockie Neal at Collingwood sounds like a 3-year,
For a million a year.
$1 million a year.
Yeah.
Nice cash into your 30s,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It's incredible cash. And
Maybe I should have kept playing.
Mate, I can give you his number, actually.
Lockie Neals.
Yeah, if you want to get him in the, commercial side of things.
Yeah, actually, good
Just
call.
on the Bombers very quickly, apparently the morning of that Brad Scott got sacked is that afternoon they met with Jed Walter. What on earth would have been the sales pitch?
Solomon, was he there when he was there? Just as made my brain going. Was Solly coaching him at any stage?
Couldn't
Yeah,
tell
he
you.
would have been at
Well, the
he would
pitch would have
been
been
the back end of Gold Coast,
Yeah, the
wouldn't he?
pitch would have been something of like,
Solly will be working in the
I'll be
canteen.
here. We
Yeah.
want you. We'll give you more cash. The future is yours next to Caddy. The club that plays in big games.
Not the ideal timing.
Well, he was playing twos, wasn't he, at the time? Like he was in and out of the
No,
side.
but I mean, in terms of you just can't, the whole joint's just exploded.
Well, it's like a footy field, mate. Next moment. Next moment.
Honestly, yeah, the red flags.
I understand that.
The red flags are
I'm
coming
taking the
up.
piss. I'm taking
No,
the
no,
piss.
you're not. You're 100% serious, and I'm going to say it again. Delusional.
Oh, let's get to round three. Segment 3, yeah? Delusional. I'm saying round 3. It's round 15 or whatever it is.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. Still more to come.
Don't go anywhere. Look, when you come back, we're
No,
going to
I
break
just said
down a
that.
few more things. In the wild, Daisy. In the wild. Don't worry, you can be host. I'll be out of here next week. Cheers. Cheers.
Me, I like something a little hot.
Turn up the heat with PointsBet, this State of Origin. Place a head-to-head bet on State of Origin Game 2. And if your team is up at half-time, you win. That's right. Back the Queenslanders or the Blues, and if they go into the break ahead, get paid out early as a winner. See your account for personalised max stake limit. PointsBet. It's like hot sauce, but for sport.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Welcome back to the Aces AFL pod. Time for the best part, the Aces in the Wild, where the fans get interactive and they give us some feedback. And there's been some strong feedback, Tommy.
How many comments? Are we Rick's time yet? Is it Rick's time?
Get back to
There's Wolfie time and there's Rick's time. It needs to be over 28.
Well, this has got
On YouTube.
333,000 views.
How
That's
many on
pretty handy.
YouTube, Morgs? Come back to
but
me.
this was about the photo of Campbell Brown, yourself, and Wal when you squished in on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
And old Michael at MWL152 said, collective IQ in this room lower than my golf handicap.
He's on the
That's a
PGA
bit-
Tour as well.
That's a bit stiff. I think Wallace has been done dirty there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That photo was great. Brownie loved that one, didn't he?
that was brilliant. At Simon Sperling, he reposted the clip of Brown Dog talking about Zach Butters' contract. I'd say go Campbell Brown, stick to talking footy, but I'm not sure he's any good at talking about that either. That's from Todd Blum.
Oh, Toddy, come on, mate. Well, that clip went
Who's
viral on
Todd
X.
Blum? He's got a
Yeah.
blue tick.
Does he really?
Obviously
Oh,
paid
it's
for
easy
it.
to get. Yeah.
Rep Gatto, what a dumb and the Rocks ain't no way I'm listening to this goose. What did he say?
Is this about Brownie still?
Yeah.
It's all about
It's all
Brownie.
about Brownie. So
Just whack him while he's in Dallas.
No, we had to get out.
we'll bring him. We'll get
I've
him to
actually got
respond.
something as well. Simon Sperling reposted a clip of Brown Dog as well on John Ralph's reporting, saying, how does he know how his relationship's going? Brownie's so desperate for a media career, but all he gets is B grade hour. So he's given our show a B grade hour whack.
Have you been on the Richard Wash? You just give the big plum to scratch halfway through your chat then. You okay?
Does it make it go a bit bigger, does it?
No, I just worry about the creepy crawlies that might be in there.
Oh, that's a disgrace. We'll have to get back on the wash. Richard. We've got Zachy Butters' contract to Vic, a post that Asher went, so glad the millionaires are complaining. Good to know the policies are working. There you go.
He wasn't happy, the boy.
Wasn't happy with the millionaires
What do you
complaining
got
about
there,
their cash.
Lobster?
Well, Simon Sperling's been busy, obviously. He's reposted the clip of Brown Dog talking about John Ralph's reporting on X, again about Ben King's relationship. And Patrick Ryan responded, Ralphie, you should apply to be John Aiken's sidekick on Married at First Sight. So a little bit of a red Simon's gone to that one, I would have thought. It was not a
John
bad
Aiken
comment.
played Test cricket for New
Yeah,
Zealand.
he did too.
Well, I'm fucked.
And talked a lot of shit on that show. And Pacific J said, maybe Ralphie should hit up King's missus for a date. She told him no thanks. He was quite happy for a relationship. He has form, old Ralphie.
What is going on here?
What form does he have, by the way?
Who's putting these on the sheet?
No, I like this. So somebody's just outing or trying to out
Maybe
dirty.
Ralphie should hit up King's missus for it. Yeah, that's
Filthy Ralphie.
Filthy Ralphie. And then, but and what
They're
they
not
what,
our words, by
what
the way.
they didn't-
Especially not my words.
What
I
they
love
didn't
your
say
record.
is refer any relationship talk to Morgs after his Twitter history, Tinder history.
boy.
So we'll keep
Yes,
Morgs
this
out
for
of
a
that
handle.
one.
The Grouse Dad, 75, and he's replying to Brownie again on Jimmy Bartell's plan to fix Essendon. He goes, Campbell can only count to 3, so going beyond that was always a big ask as he counted to 7. A lot of Essendon hate in this, which you would understand what it's
Not sure
like.
what you're talking
They
about.
weren't happy with Brownie going Jimmy Bartell's plan.
And Tommy, they had good reaction to you doing your hammy actually after 180 metres into a run. Kay Vanley Mutt. Take it you scratch from race 7 at Rose Hill tomorrow then. Didn't mind that one. And Jared Windsor said, no wrestling in the bedroom tonight for Big T Train. Well, yeah, no shit. He got ditched by the missus about a month ago, so I'm not sure if he's been busy.
That is a brutal.
Oh, no.
That is
Maybe this
brutal.
is an underuse issue.
Well, it could be an underuse. That's what
Oh,
I
we're
thought.
getting
It hasn't
personal in the comments.
hasn't been
I'll
bet-
speak to our boy Morgie about the swipe technique.
I don't think that was in the comments.
I had that bit myself.
Well, Nobby, you won't be back next week, will you? That's brilliant stuff. That is good from the wild. Did we get a record?
Yeah, so 26 a week before, 17 last week. So no.
Oh, no Rixies.
No
Well,
Rixies.
we need it. You need buy-in,
No,
collective
I
buy-in.
reckon we go reverse. Ask for none.
Okay, no comments.
Yeah.
That'll work well.
Yeah.
And if we get no comments, we'll give away a Rixie to the
No, we don't want
commenter.
that, Daisy. We want feedback. I need to know.
Reverse psychology, Tommy. You're asking for more and you're getting less.
Well, they should give him. We
No,
give
no,
everything
no.
to them, don't
No,
we?
we don't want
fight
anything.
tooth and nail to get everyone in studio. I just
That's
asked.
Bevo's
give
paint.
some-
You can't use that. You got to come up with a new phrase.
Oh, well, is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm still thinking about the game going to India, but get in the comments and think about the performance review on everyone on the panel. Let us know. Get a bit angrier
hard.
and go
Yeah, go
harder. I
hard,
think that was
man.
quite weak. You can go harder than that. And also be positive. Have a good week.
State of Origin tonight.
Oh, yes.
Toby Green and Cam Munster joined the show, and Tommy talks this week.
Yeah, Tommy talks with Paddy Cripps coming
Oh,
out.
boy.
Maybe next week, the week after, we'll see if they're on the winners list. We always time it to perfection. But Cam Munster joined Toby Green, and after Toby Green tipped New South Wales, go check that out. But new teams, going to go to, I'm actually going to the game tonight. I can't wait. So
Yeah,
I'll be going
go
for
the Maroons.
Queensland. I want game 3 to be a cracker.
Yep.
Quick tip before we round out.
Be a good game.
Maroons by 15.
Oh, that's big. Morsey,
Blues by 10.
there you go.
Carlton
Well,
Blues, that is.
hit subscribe. Thanks for everyone. Shout out to PointsBet, our friends there, Statmate and Inglewood Coffee Roasters, and to Nobby, first pod
Nobby.
dominated. Daisy, you're always red hot. And
Morgie. Don't forget Morgie.
Morgie,
Thanks, boys.
he's
Dinner swindler.
I'm like
He
arthritis.
absolutely hated that. So get in the comments and just get around Morgie on the Tinder. See you later.